Hey guys, I finally got this basket case 036 together for Papa John. Check this out. Yeah! Geez, I've been working on this thing for months. It was pretty incomplete, missing a lot of parts. We bought it for 50 bucks off of Craigslist. But yeah, it's got an aftermarket piston, cylinder, some plastics, the rear handle. The rest of it's OEM. But so yeah, let's just go through the process of what I had to do to rebuild this thing. So check it out. Okay, so here's this Stihl 036 project I've been working on, guys. And I've been procrastinating on this. Me and Visser, Papa John, we found this 036 on Craigslist. I think it was Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or anything. It was an 036 chainsaw for like 50 bucks. And we knew that it wasn't running. And anyways, it was in another town and one of our guys was working up there, so he grabbed it for us and they brought it back, and it was pretty complete, but I mean, it was missing a lot of stuff, more stuff than we realized, but still, it was an 036. And so anyways, we've been piecing it together. I actually split the case and put some new bearings in it. And I didn't film that because, you know, Tin Man, if you want to see how to split the case and put bearings in these and all that, Tin Man is the guy. He splits these things all the time, Husqvarna, Stihls. And anyways, I split the case. I bought the special case splitter tool, which made it a lot easier. So that was nice. But yeah, split the case, and then yeah, getting it back together is a little tricky because the bearings are pretty tight to press into the case. And so I did the old trick where you put the crankshaft in the freezer and then heat up the housing with a heat gun, and that makes it a little easier. But yeah, you basically just have to finagle it in there, finesse the two halves together, and then you have to make sure that everything's free and moving. So you get it all in there and everything, and then you have to sort of smack the crank, you know, give it the old smack one way, smack the other way to sort of center it up and free everything up. But she rolls free. So that's one of the major parts down. But yeah, and I hate trying to put saws together that were missing parts to begin with, because you don't have anything to reference it by. So I'm just sort of winging it on some of this. Like, it was missing a lot of the carburetor linkage and stuff like that. It had a cylinder on it, but there was no piston, and so yeah, it was missing a bunch of stuff. But so we got this cylinder, a Meteor Piston and Cylinder kit. I think we got that from Wolf Creek Saw Shop. I can't remember, it's been so long now. But yeah, piston, cylinder. Here's the cylinder. It's a 48 millimeter. I think it's 48. Yeah, 48 millimeter. I'm not gonna port it or do anything crazy. I'll be lucky if I'm just happy if the thing runs and performs like it's supposed to, let alone trying to port it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm still learning on these full rebuilds like this. So anyways, we'll pick up where we left off. So I got the crankshaft in, I got the crank bearings, put the new gasket for the case halves, and then I have this base gasket glued in there, ready to go. So yeah, so now we have to, and so my first attempt at I put the crank seal in. It goes into the bearing. It's sort of a weird deal. The seal presses into the bearing race, basically. And anyways, I pushed it in too far the first time, and so now I have to do it again. So I had to order another one. But see, I got this seal on this side, on the flywheel side. So that's all down. So yeah, we just need to get this crank seal in, and then I can put the piston and cylinder in. Oh yeah, that was another thing. This piston cylinder kit, it didn't come with a rod bearing for some reason, and we were missing that. So see, there's my extra seals and the rod bearing. So, anyways, so let's get to cracking. So this seal on this side is sort of tricky because the crankshaft has this lip right here, or this step right here, and so you can't get the seal on there without rolling the. If you try to just flop the seal on there and pound it in, it's not tapered, and so it catches on that edge and tries to roll the seal. And so what you gotta do, and I think I saw this on a YouTube video, but you get a little piece of pop can, and you roll it into like a little cone sort of, and then you put that, and yeah, see the little cone, and then you have to put the cone inside the seal like that, and then you got to get that cone down over that step, and so that sort of guides it on there. Is how that works. But I'm gonna put a little oil on this seal. Let's see. Just a little bit. So yeah, you get that, make the little cone shape like that. See the cone? And then you put your little cone down over that step. Make sure you get it down all the way. And then theoretically, we should be able to tap that seal in there. And I found a socket that's just the same size as the seal. But yeah, I pounded it in too far before. But yeah, make sure your little... So just... tap that bad boy in. Until she's flush. That's probably good. Right there. And then take out the... And so then now that you got it in there, now you can take out the sleeve. Your little pop can sleeve. Just pull it out. Boom. And then see? The seal's on there and it didn't roll it. That worked pretty good. Okay, now we can put the piston in. And see, it has an arrow. The arrow goes to the exhaust side. I already put the rings on. You can put those on with your fingers if you're careful. Just make sure that they're lined up with the little pins on the piston. The piston has a locating pin there, see? And see how the chamfered corresponds with the pin. So yeah, they have these locating pins to keep the rings from spinning around, because you don't want them moving around and get into the exhaust port, then it'll break them. So anyways, and then here's our little clips, and then our bearing and our pin. So we'll put a little oil on the rod bearing. And then this pin should just slip in there. Can you see that? Yeah, this pin should just slip in there. Nice. Just slipped right in. Perfection. And then you put your little C-clips in. Now push the pin all the way over to the other side. Then you can get your other clip in there. So yeah, let me get that in there. Okay, now I think we can put the cylinder on, guys. And I always just do it by hand. You don't need a ring compressor if you're tricky. You just sort of work the ring around, make sure it's lined up, but make sure everything's clean. So yeah, exhaust port goes this way. I got my clips in, I got my piston pin in. I'm gonna put a little, I always like to put a little oil in the bearings. It won't hurt nothing. It just burns out of there when you start it. Never can have too much oil. And put a little oil on the rings. Not too much though. I want it all over the gasket. Maybe rub a little inside the cylinder with your finger. And it doesn't have to be 2-stroke oil. You can just use any motor oil, whatever. It just burns out of there when you start it. Okay, so the main thing is we got to make sure that these rings are lined up with these pins, with the locating pins. Because if you don't get them lined up, it'll just jam it all up and it'll be a big mess. So where are they? So yeah, just make sure that they're lined up with their pins. Yeah, just work the ring around. You shouldn't need a compressor. Just use your, see, there it is, there's the first one. And then the second one, same thing. Work it around, move the cylinder down as you're pushing the ring in. Just don't force it. It'll go on once it's all compressed in there. There it goes. There. And like I said, you'll know when it goes on. And then just sort of slide her down until she lands home. There it is. And then get your bolts in there. Nice. And then give them a snug down. Get them nice and tight. So yeah, let me finish tightening those and we'll see what's next. Next, we'll put the flywheel on so we can turn this thing. So yeah, get your little flywheel key in. And I'll put this on. I always try to stop and think. I don't think there's anything that goes underneath it. It's solid state, electronic. There's no points to worry about. So, yeah, I think we just put the flywheel on. So we'll tighten that bad boy down. Okay, flywheel's on. Motor feels good. Oh, it's getting there. So next we'll put the compression release plug in there. We don't need no frickin' compression release, do we? Okay guys, it's starting to look more like a saw. See, I'm getting the handle on. We bought an aftermarket one. Handle, rear handle, assembly, and tank off of eBay because it was missing so many parts that it was cheaper just to buy the whole tank that had all the throttle linkage and everything. So, and I sort of set the carburetor in there. I haven't gone through it yet. I was just sort of making sure everything fit, but it's looking like a saw. Okay guys, now I'm working on the clutch. Another one of these deals where it's like, it's new enough where I haven't really fooled with these much. I mean, it's pretty simple. I just want to make sure I get it together in the right sequence. So anyways, when I took the old one apart, there was this washer here. So that's cool. But yeah, it has I put the oil pump back in. That's pretty easy. 2 bolts. And then yeah, it has this worm drive thing with this wire sticking off of it. And I'm not quite sure, like, what the heck does that do exactly? That's what I want to know. Aha! I figured it out, guys. So that little wire thing that sticks out back there. See right there? I was wondering, like, I was like, what is this thing? See how that sticks around like that? It goes, you guys probably already know this, but that notch goes onto it. And that's what drives the pump, apparently. Sort of an odd deal, but whatever. Whatever works. Okay, later. Okay, I got the clutch drum and the oil pump drive and everything in there. Got the chain brake mechanism back together. Luckily I took a picture of it before I took it apart because it's got a lot of bits and pieces. So anyways, and then this cover goes over everything like that. Oops. Like that. So that side's pretty much done. Okay guys, I'm working on the ignition on this 036. And of course it was missing the wiring and the switch too, so I gotta make it. And so I got this 026 that my neighbor dropped off a while ago that I need to get running for him. And so I thought, well, I'll get this over here. And so yeah, I took a look and see. So they got a wire that's grounded right there, and then the other one plugs into the coil. And then yeah, one goes up to oh, this is hard to see on this switch, but basically one goes up and connects to, here, let me get a pointer. One goes, so one side of it connects to this clip, and then the other connector goes in here. And then when you flip this switch up, see, it makes the connection and grounds out the coil. So that's how that works. So I got to run those 2 wires there like that, and then we'll have a kill switch. Then I can put the starter on. So yeah, see, here's the one end that goes here, and then the other end plugs onto the coil. Okay, so let me finish that up. Okay guys, we finally got all the parts for this thing. The 036. I got a flippy cap for it, because apparently the aftermarket tanks take the flippy cap. It was leaking, but I had to put a new O-ring in it. Now it's good. Just went and got a new O-ring at the hardware store. Got the decomp valve in it. Got the aftermarket rear cover. Fits pretty good. I'm on off of it. Got an air filter. So yeah, she's all together. And She's ready to fire up. Got the bucking spike on there. I had to modify it a little bit. I had to chop the bottom off. It's actually, apparently it's not for this saw, because when you put the side cover on, and then do this, see, they don't line up. This one sticks way out further. I mean, I could probably modify this one to where they line up. So we'll see. But anyways, she's got one for now. One bucking spike for now. But yeah, she's ready to fire up. And then Visser Papa John, he's going to buy a new bar and chain for it, but he's gone working for a week. So I found this old bar and chain here that I had laying around. And of course I had to fix up the lettering on it. It looks a little janky, but it looks okay. The Farm Boss with that Farm Boss guy on there. It'll all get worn off anyways. It looks sort of cool though. So yeah, we'll put that bar and chain on there. And then I found a chain for it that I just sort of gave a quick sharpen up to. So, yeah, got the muffler on. So yeah, let's take it out, see if she runs. Okay, let's see if this thing runs. Give it a little fuel down its gullet. Give it a little prime. Let's see what she does. Ooh, almost started. Come on, baby. That's awesome. She runs. So yeah, we'll just let her warm up for a minute. Call it good for now. Ooh, the oiler works. Nice. Okay, I gotta go back to work. I'm just home for lunch, so we'll fool with it later. Okay, bye. Okay guys, here it is, finally done. The 036. The only thing I'm missing is this little rubber grommet that goes in here, but we can run it without that. But yeah, boy, I don't know. I don't know if I recommend building a saw that's that incomplete. It was a pain in the butt finding all the parts, but we got her done. In the end, we got us a nice 036. So now let's see how she cuts. See if the old girl fires up. Got the compression release on it. So yeah, let's fire it up. cuts good. My chain sharpening skills aren't the greatest. I gave this chain a half-ass chain, or a half-ass sharpen, but John's gonna buy a new bar and chain for this. I just wanted something for testing purposes. Whew, that thing's fast. Faster than all them old saws that I got. I'm gonna have to build some more of these. And she starts easy. That's cool. All right, guys, finally. The 036 done for Papa John. Laters.